Freedom, both teams are landing right in the warehouse. Fire with the shotgun.
Gets this animation cancelled as well to get the gun up quickly. One seen, one taken down. Spiro, that was Ada with the AK in hand, reloaded, but able to take him down. More shotgun is in play as Pats one, finds the second as well. Pentagram, folded in seconds, and there they go!
As the big ones, and now FaZe are trying to get involved. They're swinging on in. This was a hardship for the Northwest, so having a big send towards the middle might not be that big of a surprise. They don't seem to be going so far, but up the steps. Fox doesn't check the right angle. It's all under 50. He has to go for something big. Does not succeed.
3 players go down. They know that New Epi's fighting STK. This is great recognition. They weren't ready for Hikari's position at the tree. They're out on the road. Hikari finds the perfect time to strike. Takes 2 down. Grenade in hand here for Soul. But he's nowhere near this. He can't get a grenade there. Now he's out in the open. What a spray from Hikari! Only saw 1 or 2 more smokes in his hand there, so that's not far enough to cross that field. Leo, though, spotted Linshu just barely, and the repeat is going to get the knock through the smoke. Now he sees 2 by the rock. That's information. That should be everything. Just narrowly to get the job done. Long skirt knocked as well. Leo, only 1 more player to go here. 7-7 wraps to the back.
Don't even need to get the revive on Xenon. They already have the man advantage here, but look at Savior pushing on in with a grenade, trying to confirm every single person that they can. 7-7, last one up. What can he do? 1 versus 3. His position has been compromised.
Here comes Yuri looking to finish the job. 7-7, though, able to at least find the knock. Leo trying to get there to prevent the point.
Claimed high ground in an area that they had no rights to claim whatsoever.
Aldana was going to get backstabbed here by the AWM. Yeah, that's the easiest AWM shot of your life. He's going to be able to flush kick there. Heaven, though, I'm not sure if you can get to that res before Petrichor Road decides to lock the grenades in and finish the job. What's up, everyone? We are back here at PGS1. Only 2 more games to go. And that means that we are going to bring Toby on to join me for these final 2 games. 1 more Erangel, 1 more Miramar, and then we are halfway through the winner's bracket already. Can you believe it?
I can, and it's been absolutely phenomenal so far. We saw Na'Vi back-to-back to start the day off. A little more quiet since then, but other teams sure as hell have stepped up to kind of try and claim their spots. To one of the teams, Petrichor, AC, 7, almost 8 kills in that previous match.
Disgusting.
Does that mean that we might see Petrichor back in Rostock again now that they're feeling it once more?
Yeah, I mean, it may be something worth considering for sure. I mean, it seemed like they were going to go for more of a discretionary play, which is not the usual.
Yeah, Petrichor-esque, is it?
Never. I've never seen it in a lot of casting them in Asia. Never have I seen them give up much. They're a very stubborn team.
I feel like it's just the Chinese way really of global tournaments so far. It's been very rare, if not at all, that we've seen them be the ones to end up backing up. Usually 17 alongside Petrichor would be the ones to claim the spots by the end of the tournaments. But this time around, 17 early on, forced out of Picard Pachenki by Sonics. And now, for a brief moment, we did see Petrichor go elsewhere, but off that previous game performance, maybe, just maybe, we'll see them go back again.
Pretty curious about it. EXO, a better game that time. I thought they had some good fights out in the open, and that's it's a step in the right direction. Leaving Rain is that anchor position. He's just vibing as well.
He was a little traumatized too.
I had a great lunch with Rain today. It was very nice. We got some Korean food. And we just chilled and had a good talk. Super nice dude. Super interesting kind of story about how he got here and everything. But anyway,
he is a very nice guy.
Super nice.
These guys, very nice guys too. I gotta say, the vibe on FaZe ever since the roster change, they seem more loose. They seem more down to earth. They seem to be jumping around, having some fun every now and then. I mean, that alone, having the dragon put a smile on his face, that is an achievement of its own. For him, not so much smiles, not yet. They're all about business. They want to go out there, they want to perform, they're not done yet. And in the meantime, here as well for Danoa, a team we could not stop talking about through group stage. Winners bracket today so far? Haven't really seen the same Danoa we saw the last couple of days.
Yeah, they felt a little bit off here today. A few good fights here and there, but some tricky ones where they've been caught up in some third parties and those kind of things. But it is time here for our final Erangel of the day, guys. It's PGS 1. We are going to hop on into the plane and go to the grassy pastures of Erangel. I didn't say it seriously. There was some sarcasm in there.
Was that your James?
No.
Say it as James. You've got 8 seconds.
Oh, say it as James. To the grassy pastures of Erangel.
I'm all for it. I love it.
There you go.
I love it. Playing path this time around, as you see in just a second, incredibly similar to our first Erangel of today. And what did that game serve us? Not only a Rostock hot drop, but also a lot of altered drops altogether. Because East Coast in this playing path, somewhat difficult to reach. Now we can pretty easily travel east to west on Erangel due to the way of both terrain and roads. But a lot of teams had to kind of alter the drops, but would expect to see similar things happening this time around.
Yeah, certainly. It should look pretty similar to that one. I think you're right on the nose there as Shoot to Kill out early towards the Severny and the other splits. All I gotta say is this is going to be a much more interesting drop once the gliders make their way.
I know you had a very brief talk with Shoot to Kill in the break here, because we were all confused by why are they not engaging on 4am, but I know they had a brief chat with them.
Thank you for bringing that up. So I had a brief chat with Vegas back there, and he goes, because Tiggleton and I were first talking, and then he comes in, he goes, we had nothing. We had literally nothing. We had no heals, we had no vests, we had no helmets, we had no guns, we had no bullets, we had literally nothing left. That's why we were just sitting there. He said they had a barrel with a red dot that had some ammo in it.
And we were all sat there looking for him, fighting. Why are you not shooting them in the back? But there you go. And honestly, in a scenario where you have nothing, what better than have the last team right out into the blue and just serve it to you on a platter?
That's the way things go sometimes. I mean, 4am made a risky play to try to clear Shrimsy, and this circle, well, this one's much more likely to go to the military island than the other one we had the other day.
So where does it go?
Ooh. How about this? Novo.
It's just exactly outside the circle.
How about this? How about we're gonna go south of Potato? That's right.
Well, then you were just feeding it to Navi. They're already in the top. That's no fun. That's no fun.
Well, that's fair, but
I'm saying Fairy Pier ending.
Fairy Pier? I like Fairy Pier.
Yeah, in Fairy Pier.
Oh, those are great.
Fairy Pier. And as rare as can be, especially with ranked settings. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. We are kind of alluded to it. You're not seeing it in the main feed right now, but that is just yet another advocate to always make sure to have the map stream open as well. Because while it's all great to watch the players run around in their schools and apps and get their loot game going, it's also pretty convenient, especially for the teams that want the little more in-depth analysis style or approach to PUBG, to have that map feed open. See where are the teams on the map, how they're planning on rotating. And maybe if you want to try and teach yourself to get better at watching PUBG, try and predict where this specific team. Like, look at one team for an entire game. Go try and see if you can predict, okay, they loot there, they know this team is there. What would be the smartest place for them to go to? Follow that team for the entire game. See if you can always be one step ahead of them. That way, you learn more about the team you're following, whether you get it right or wrong. And who knows, maybe you get to learn to enjoy watching PUBG even more than you hopefully already do.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. There, that is the.
I say some right things every now and again. Every now and again, they're when the stars line.
The ultimate PUBG esports monologue right there.
There you go.
Enjoy this game to its fullest because we have
There's
so much.
There's so much. It's not just running and gunning and shooting and cars and explosions. Well, it's also that.
Yes.
It is also that, and wild circle shifts and all that.
That's part.
And it would be true, but there's so much to it. There's so many layers to this amazing cake that we want you guys to taste all of.
It's the definitely a thinking man's game, a thinking person's game.
Sure is.
Just a wonderful esport we have here. And EXO is just still in North George, still Tiamba underneath them. They haven't really butted heads too much up there.
No.
So far that's been kind of a DMZ. Sometimes you see the South George teams try to bully the North George teams because generally the North George team is kind of the weaker quote-unquote team than the South George team. You know, usually it's like a Tiamba or a Genji or something down there.
They usually, I tend to use the term of punching bag and like boxer, but we do tend to be able to split it in half, where we say half the teams in this server are the teams that like to dictate the flow of the game. Like they come out and do something, the other teams respond to it. The other half are teams that do things based on what other teams do or allow them to. South George, usually the dictator. North George, usually the opposite side. AZ, plenty of kills previous game. This time, trying to see if he can continue that by finding James. But while he did see the vehicle, did get a tag in, it did not get any knocks.
He's got to be careful here. If FaZe figures out that he's alone, they could potentially do something about this, or whoever comes next, maybe. I've seen too many players in this exact building by themselves get wrecked because they try to like mess with people trying to cross that bridge.
I will give a quick shout out though to the game designer or level designer who added those walking path catwalks on the bridge, because what you didn't see happened just off screen. Teams got to take the car. Normally you've always been like one shot on the bridge. Well, kind of got a full committed to it because there's only one end to the bridge on the other side. But now you can take the car off the side onto the catwalk or pathwalk, drive it under the bridge and actually exit underneath, where that guy in this position, 8Z's position, can't really do anything to prevent you from doing so. So thank you, man, who built that bridge. If you're watching, I'm sure James appreciates your effort.
Thumbs up, hats off. We salute you, man, who made those side walkways on the bridge.
Now we need a name. Who came up
I don't
with
know.
the sidewalk?
I'd love to know. I'm happy to give whoever it is credit.
Yep.
Some level designer.
Some level designer.
And they are brilliant. All right, 4 a.m. in transition, just to the east of Picado here, south of where I think the circle is going to end. Of potato.
Go the other way. Paperthin said it's going potato.
I'm just predicting hardships.
Oh,
That's all it is.
True.
It's like the tournament of hardships so far.
It really has been. It really has been.
I'm just sticking with it until the game proves me otherwise.
The thing is, when we see this simple Phase 2 shift, we just know Phase 3 is bound to be absolutely brutal. In the meantime, of course, as we've been entertaining you for the last 6 minutes with no kills, love to see it. It's Phase 3 is bound.
I do.
Because we just know that it just means the inevitable. The chaos will commence eventually.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a matter of when, right?
It's going to be at the right time.
The less people die early, the harder the explosion will, the louder the explosion will sound once we hit the mid to late game. No, but the teams are slowly maneuvering closer to one another, a lot of whom have opted to cross over to military early, understandably so, but still quite a few who haven't. And then, of course, some of these teams that have still yet to make their way fully towards the south. We talk North George, South George. Well, here they are. Tiamba were the first ones to leave, but EXO kind of backfilling them. I don't know if Tiamba set up a intended camp or if this is just EXO kind of backfilling on their scouting path, because Pau is nowhere near the remaining Tiamba players. But it's kind of interesting. In the meantime, down towards the south, Na'Vi creeping in towards the center. Have got FaZe right next to them.
Yeah, Navi's pretty close to FaZe territory, and this one... You know, Cammy mentioned it earlier that maybe we're due for another military circle. We've only had the one, and it was absolutely bananas.
It was pretty insane.
So maybe we're due for like a more legit one. Maybe we'll get the Phase 2 shift. Summer out in this boat with Salute trying to go for the spray. It's ambitious, but you know sometimes you can find those shots. It is tough to shoot at those boats. I find, you know, with the water and everything, it is hard, and especially at that range.
This could end up being pretty crucial, though, because as you can see, usually when you take a boat, it's because you want to sail it to military. But someone just went over and took it and sailed it back towards his teammates. pretty smart for them to get an extra vehicle in case they do have to cross eventually. And for Danoa, that was their one naval option of okay, unless if they take the ferry to Novo, but that was their one naval option of crossing Novo. So now they're going to be forced to go up towards the bridge.
Yeah, and there is Howl, who has set up shop on the other side, so it could be tough. The Novo rotation is going to be coming through for STK, and they are in, and they are secure and safe. Nobody there. The Mutant...
It's not meta yet.
It's not the meta yet.
Wait a patch. They have Mutant and double as a Scar L.
I was going to say.
I feel like Exo...
How do they not have the loot tab?
Loot a bit more.
Better than the Mutant.
Yeah, I mean, you're not in a hurry, guys.
The play path was not unfavorable to Novo.
Yeah, it was
North George,
a bit of a stretch, but even then...
Even then.
You're not going to make the circle like early anyway. Might as well just
really bad
run
luck,
through a building or two. Yeah, I mean, happens. Happens to the best of us.
Certainly. Danoa here is going to probably be taking their time to scout the other side of the bridge to try to make sure that if they cross, it's relatively safe. It depends on how dug in Howl actually is. They've moved out to the hills a bit. Make sure that if they cross, you can see there on your screen, they've got two just to the right-hand side of where Danoa is driving in from.
And part of the reason why teams now bridge camping tend to play the hills more is because what we just talked about with teams before, because opponents can now wrap underneath, if you're sat in that hillside, you can actually still shoot at them once they come out from underneath that bridge, unless, of course, if they opt to go east after getting underneath the bridge. So smart that they're kind of putting their main force, so to speak, up on the hills rather than inside the crossroads itself.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of teams off of contact from that bridge either drive hard left or hard right the exit. So yeah, that's really smart. Kickstart here on the backside of Danoa, putting some Mark 12 shots in towards their lead player. I think it's either Soul or Anonyx, hard to tell for sure. Exo, just we're really keen on watching them drive out of North George. They need more loot.
We found one AR. There's an M4 in there, so and that is a lot. Okay, things are going pretty good now. In the meantime, FaZe and Na'Vi, we saw them earlier, sat close to one another. Na'Vi knew that FaZe had pulled up, and we saw Jeeves on the roof just before they wanted the knock. They waited for the right moment. Now they find it, and here comes the push.
Na'Vi's got an ump in the middle of all of this. You don't see that every day from Uba. He's got a mutant in him.
6 mutant as well.
The mutant. Okay, Vex gets a nice shot here on Mel to trade for Corexi, and he's able to clean that up with some great AK shots from Example. Find the headshot onto him, and now FaZe is in tatters. It is just Gustav left.
Yep, not optimal at all. Nice collapse by Na'Vi. You could see that they got the info early, didn't pounce immediately, used that info to spread further around, and once the first shot was fired, once James was taken out, instantly they reveal their positions, catch FaZe off guard, get a double. They do lose Melman in the midst of it, but still very, very nice execution by Na'Vi with suboptimal weaponry, to say the least. They're able to take out 3 from FaZe, claim what could become absolute prime real estate for a late game position, and
because this circle is bad.
Whenever they go there, it's safe to say that the teams with that compound tend to come out at least in top 3.
Yeah, and the other thing about this for Na'Vi is now they can upgrade. I think this is why they made this move. Not only is it the position and all the other things, but also the gun upgrades. I mean, this is a great, smart decision from Na'Vi given their situation.
I love that the game waited till phase 2 before it committed north. You know?
Well, we're just
let's make it let's make it a little less likely before we go north.
I'm telling you, we're ending south of Potato. It's still possible. It's very unlikely, but it's still possible.
Imagine.
I can, and I want to. Tianba is going to load up on
no one else does.
From where you thought it was going to end, but you were wrong.
Yeah. Oh, long skirt. Remember long skirt? Oh, you don't want to sit all these guys in the boat.
It's fine.
Chilling. But there's no one on their side of the circle. Little do they know. That should be all right. In the meantime, Danoa, they're believing in the Northern Hard Shift. Trying to bid Luminosity farewell as they cross the bridge down towards the south. In the meantime, 4am, we saw just before they made landfall, committed to the southern side, got Petrichor in the nearby vicinity, but other than that, not really any commotion in their whereabouts.
Yeah, no, this little kind of miniature valley is completely open for 4am. LG still at the gas station, still kind of harassing and trading long range shots with Danoa. There is Twisted Minds rolling up behind that bridge late to this particular circle, but they have a little bit of space up there still by that crossroads compound to kind of just wait all of this out. Tianba is already over to the other side, so not wasting any time once they got Longskir in there. They're just going to go right into this compound, find it's open, and then try to make their way probably towards that area, that hillside, that weird kind of double hill or that double mountain. You know what I'm talking about? The one to the north of military base?
Yeah. Meantime, they trade up this rep far south around, coming in through the military base itself. Should be just fine because they are the only team in that position. And Twisted Minds playing it very slow out from the blue. Not a typical Twisted Minds military game kind of tempo. But again, instantly out in the previous game. They want to get points in this one. So playing it slow, but this time around slower than what we normally see them do.
Yeah, Twisted Minds needs some points.
Yeah.
He's still getting in the mix of these
14
hot
points
drops.
currently.
Yeah, it's painful, to say the least. But let's see if they can get something going in this one. You know, it is rough to have this kind of start because of the meds you have to burn through to get in. But these days, you know, it's a little bit easier to make those rotations due to being able to carry some extras.
Yeah. Seeing all these teams make their way closer. Circle will go south. Unlucky for Paper. Didn't get the northern shift on that one. Luckily for, I think, everyone else, to be honest, other than the other crazy people that wish for absolute mayhem.
That's me.
That is you among, I think, a lot of people. Exactly. Circle sent us up, but does include a lot of water still. So military is pretty much all out, which really limits the opportunity of where people can go. In the meantime, as you can see here, Flood.
Oh, he should have
good eyes on Penta, yeah, but he's not running in the direction we would want him to. Easy peasy for Flood, finding Penta in the open. That's the first one, but LG ain't done just yet. Still plenty more SDK players around.
Yeah, that's easy does it for SDK. No problem to clean that one up, even though it took a few extra shots. EXO has found a kill onto Cerberus. Where in the world was that? I'm like looking at the map and I can't see it, but it is what it is. Gustav goes down and FaZe has been eliminated off screen, so a rough go of this one, despite some decent games in there for FaZe. So far, it hasn't gone so great. Here is Cerberus, and here's EXO.
Westbridge is where they were all having fun. Heikeman needs to get picked up, or do they say, you're on your own? I think they do. They don't have time for this. It's phase 3 already. They gotta get going down towards that south side. I don't think there are any boats left in Ferry Piers. Not sure if I like them going all the way west. In the meantime, saw Chiamba just for a brief moment. They're running on over, and now over towards Howl we go as Ruin, bolt action in hand, trying to pufferfish and force LG to go elsewhere.
All right, let's see where LG can find their destination. This has been their MO. What a shot from Schofield. The finish from Ruin onto Flood. But LG has found a wizard, and I think they're going to get 3 there. Yes, they will be beat up. Oh, off the backside, though. No, there's 2 knocks.
They can't get in.
Again, they're just done. The crossfire for Petrichor, Road, and Howl has destroyed Luminosity Gaming, and they are out early.
And it comes off of the double headshot instantly onto Rello, I believe it was. What a great shot, taking him out. Easy peasy does it for him. Navi in the meantime now continuing their fight, trying to now hold off GEX as we take a look once again towards EXO. They want to get into the circle now. They finally found another vehicle, but they're coming in straight into a Sonics split.
Now let's see if they can manage to get through it. Tianba's just going to watch them and probably try to pin the tail on the donkey here. Just get in the backside and see if they can, you know, third party this fight. Maybe find some points at the very least. Maybe if Sonics and EXO really beat each other up, come through with a big one. The opening shots begin. And it's just mime out wide, and that opens up some space here for Tiggleton, trying to go for a long-range spray.
Bold action and take as well, not something you see. I mean, I think a lot of people...
He's been streaming with it lately.
Well, I do know, it streams here as well. M24 in hand, finds the first. Mime as well with the bold action, triple bolt for Sonics.
Yes!
Not sure if that's the strat to be played by, or if that's just them rotating early and therefore not getting the weaponry that would have wanted. See, Mime forced back further off. They want to get closer to the circle. They've seen the new one shift, and I think Sonics now has to really prioritize. Do we just openly go into war with EXO, or do we try and reposition? I like this counterplay, though, as they felt like we can't sit there in the open. They can get off angles, backed off, and now playing from a new spot.
But now Tianba is starting to loom here on the south side of the Sonics. As big of a fan of the bolts as I am, certainly at the pro level, they're not the ideal guns as EXO. Really starting to lay it down now into the Sonics as they drive away. Plenty of damage done. Battle between Tianba and Na'Vi, and Tianba's just done. They're just dead.
Tianba was slow creeping up behind this fight, and while doing so, both Na'Vi and GEX spot him in the middle of the open. I guess they just weren't sneaky enough in the end of it.
Well, they tried. I'll give them credit. I like the idea. Just Na'Vi was there to clean it up. Donawa is going coast, but 4AM is going to be watching this certainly as the boat is going to land, and there's a lot of shots heading their way. Getting in towards here is really difficult, Toby.
Perfect angle, though, as they have that truck for cover on the shoulder, and now the boat for cover as well to get us few smokes deployed, but Crazy all the way up close. Damage done towards Soul already. We'll see the second one. We'll get anything done. That one should be Soul down, and indeed it is.
But these smokes are giving Crazy so much space to work with here. Oh my god, I thought that boat was going to just match Soul into the ground. Oh, that grenade from Crazy. The follow-up is perfect. He finds a great angle right over the boat. Now Loki trying to hold on here. He is going to get a knock, but Wang Zai right there to trade him out. Summer and Wang Zai alive. The final member of Danawa in Narnia. It's Anonix, and there is not much he can do.
Nothing he can do. Maybe get a knock or something, but not a whole lot more. Expected Twisted Minds in the meantime. Tried to grab on through. They came in very late. And while we thought the push-up was going to be on the other side, Sonics will be there. Butchers, it seems. 4M fall as well, though. So while it did a lot of damage to Danawa, they were the first ones to be taken out.
A lot of teams shooting at the Sonics here as they try to get up and get to Shrimzy to try to get him back on his feet. Mime as well has been down, and here comes Na'Vi finding the perfect opportunity to third party this. Quinn was on his last legs after that grenade. Uba now going to smoke off the angle of the other teams to see if they can maybe commit to and finish this fight.
And again, Na'Vi 18, not make that 90 minutes in, already at 8 kills. They have been farming today. First 4 on face, of course, and then from there on, they've just been picking player after player. Helped a lot with the takedown of Tiampa too. And there you go, 2 more added to it. A Sonics fall in 11th. Just 30 players left, and we're only in phase 4.
Uba is just having a absolutely monster day once again. All of Na'Vi having an absolutely monster day. Example, watching Poochills. Poochills there, just going to duck behind the rock and just kind of wait things out. Exo over towards Cerberus, trying to maybe finish what they started on the other side of the bridge.
I just noticed that Example has 4 kills and 150 damage. He has been stealing.
That's some stealing.
And you know what? They ain't gonna be complaining about that whatsoever. Lou, solo player left alive on Twisted Minds, gonna make himself as small as possible, similar to what I believe Salute and the Nautics might be trying to do up towards the north. In the meantime, now, Howl, as you were saying before, very centered, and Exo. Love this attempt at suppressing inside, because here comes the push.
Yeah, Hisaki with a shotgun, trying to see if he can get lucky on the drive-by. Not able to do so, has to switch over to the M4. Hisaki gets both with the drop shot. Great play from him, and now he's able to buy some time to reload this shotgun. Spots the head here of Hikerman. Goes for the shots, whiffs. That gives a lot of damage, a lot of opportunity for Hikerman there, as he is able to find Duckmai. Hisaki all but down and out. It is a 1v1 for all intents and purposes.
It was a 2v4 though, so absolutely phenomenal. Hisaki is able to withstand as much pressure as he does. That nade, well, damaging himself, suboptimal at best. But Hikerman does opt to fall back. Didn't see what he liked now, knowing that it's a 1v1. You could go for it, you could also try and back off. Only 26 alive, you're probably expecting to be close to placement point at this point.
Yeah, Nuren's here trying to play defense against Uba, and the confidence for Na'Vi must be high. Example takes a headshot. Uba trying to let loose with some stuns, trying to pin Nuren's down. Now Flash, you can see him at the very bottom of the map screen trying to come down. Poochills has a pretty decent angle here from this tree. Can see down into a lot of Na'Vi. Now you still have one member of Na'Vi. Oh, now you've got one knocked. Uba and Example way spread out.
I love this positioning from Daytrade, because the reason that Na'Vi is spread out is Daytrade peeking over, not at the same time, but one after one after one, just forcing them into a buttload of hurt.
Yeah, here comes New Happy though. They're third partying this fight. They're stealing kills. They've already got a knock as well. Yes, Example's running away. There's something a little more important. There we go. Thank you very much. Now over towards New Happy, who has a great angle on the retreating Daytrade. Belmoth trying to use that tree as best as he can. There's a smoke as well. Alia is going to succumb to the blue. Poochill's in the blue himself, trying to work his way back around towards this hill. ZP Yan just going to have to back off, and they have to drive into this next circle.
4-in-1 vehicle. I don't think that car is going to take them very far, though. I would hope that they only go to the edge and then jump out of the car. Just, you know, get away from the blue a little more comfortably. Then what else? As I say that, though, they seem to be going full speed forward. Not sure where the journey ends. In the middle of the valley, in the middle of the open, Belmont finds the first.
Surprising stopping spot, but I guess they just want to kind of cut off Daytrade as they come down the hill. Belmont, though, got a knock. Not a lot of damage being done here by Flash. I don't know. I don't like this spot much either. And Zipian and Ming Ming still alive, but out in the open. Flash gets the headshot onto Zipian. Flash himself taking a lot of damage. Ming Ming good for one. Zipian's molly finds another, and just Flash left. So just barely New Happy is hanging on, but Flash is able to get his heal off and finally taken down.
And it's Example who finds him from down below. The one to lose all his teammates to the opposition, and now he peeks over the top, finds plenty of kills. 6 for himself, 12 for Na'Vi as they make their way closer to top 5.
I am befuddled by that stopping point for New Happy.
It made no sense.
Yep. Example, though, able to profit even more. I mean, the rich get richer here as Na'Vi continues to wrap in towards SDK. Well, just example, 6 kills in this one, half of Na'Vi's 12 in this game. Vegas and Alo don't like what they're sensing here, and seem to be peeling off.
I know it's a solo, but it's Na'Vi. Should we get away?
Yeah. I think yes.
With how they've been playing today, 63 points on the day so far, with a match and a half still left to be played. That is absolutely phenomenal. Joey, though, nice shots coming through, finds the man in the meantime. Example, this might be him singing on the last verse, but he ain't done yet. Xiaopian falls, 3x sprays. Example, you absolute beast.
This is absolutely nuts. One of the best in the business, showing you why, folks. AZ out in the open, Mill up ahead. Kui trying to get into AZ's smoke so he can get the res. He got it. Example did end up going down to the blue, but not before he ruined New Happy's round. Schofield and Owl in a nice position in the center of this circle. Res coming through for the Mad, but I think Kui as well should be resable here in a second. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon.
Howl haven't been too noisy this game so far. They helped out in taking out Luminosity, but other than that, it's been a bit quiet. I love how they've been spreading out, how they've been taking control of the area. And now, later on in the game, they can start really going aggressive on the wounded teams that are left alive. Howl already, with 4 still up, now starting to find their kills. I believe that was number 5, and they will be the only team, potentially, with all 4 on their feet here in the 3 teams left alive.
Donawa's still kicking. Can you believe it?
They've been chilling.
They've just been chilling. I mean, that's what they had to do, right?
Also, after 4 AM died, Alex somehow ran down to the beach and rest salute.
Yeah, I don't know how he got there. I was just thinking about that, too. I don't know. I was literally just thinking the same thing. I'm like, how the hell did they get salute? But, whoa, Vegas with the Groza gets one, looking for another. Spots Apocalypse, trying to call in the grenades there, but it's actually Salute who's going to find the knock, looking for the flush.
Well, the two-way split for Howl worked really well for a while, but then as Vegas peeked on over, he was dealt with, or they were. There they go. Both of them go down. Schofield now holding the flank. Ruin trying to fend off against Purdy up close as well. Nice shots connected from Schofield. Don't think he's aware of Ruin's position. Vegas, though, again. Pops up, double headshot connected. Schofield falls. But Vegas falls in return.
Here comes the grenades from Ruin trying to get to Purdy Curdy, but Purdy senses it. He's going to reposition off to Ruin's right. Ruin's going to prone down. Maybe expecting this push, this angle, stands up and he's totally ready, but Vegas right there, excuse me, Alo right there to trade it down. Now it is 2v1. Alo going to stick for this res, and Onyx and Salute hot on the press to try to finish the job, but the res is going to come through. That's that Groza back up and firing. Vegas going to go right for the heal. Looks like he might have enough time.
Yeah. Able to get the first aid up. Huge that Vegas gets back on his feet here. Danova was slaughtered on the shorelines of Sosnovka, and yet here they are with 2 alive in the most unlikely end game we could have ever expected to see. Salute broke down, might spot the first dose. Exactly that. Salute able to take one down. Now Alo around the side. A little peekaboo with him and Alo.
Alo gave his position away, but somehow Salute isn't expecting Alo to keep rapping. Bit of a strange one there. Here comes an Onyx trying to do what he can. Is going to find the flush. Is going to have the point. It's a 1v1, and Onyx gets a bunch of damage in. Now beginning to wrap around. Confirms Vegas as well. Alo, and they both just prone right away. This is so cute. It is going to be Alo going for the heal.
And Onyx had 16 bullets, no spares. Prones down instantly, 120 in the back. These guys are so fast at looting, and this is exactly why. Don't look at everything you can pick up. Just get the ammo, and now the repositioning begins. The mastermind plays come through. Who gets to bait the other?
And Onyx has a bit of a tree, but he gets spotted by Alo. Alo doesn't pull the trigger. Alo's going to hang on to it, spots him again, has him out in the open with that 3x spray, but can't find the knock. And Onyx just spins on him and takes him down. Donawa is going to get the win.
180 double headshot confirmed. Inonix, you absolute mastermind. He got seen. He had no rights of coming out victorious here.
Time and time again, and Onyx is able to pull these wins away from these other teams when he's just in the worst position, when it feels like he has no hope. The just absolute mastery comes alive. He's just unbelievable in the clutch.
And ironic as well for STK. Previous game we were saying, how the hell do they come up victorious here? This one, a lot more I would say a lot more likely for them to win. Unfortunately, could not bring it home. Howl, great job of trying to prevent them. But let's take a look at the highlights here from the second to last match of day number 1 in the winners bracket.
You don't beat Inonix in a 1v1 here. Absolutely clutch. And even with Alo taking the off angle, being kind of holding the trigger just a little bit here, Inonix with the flick of a switch.
Alo tried to go to a high position. He could not close the deal. He did get the first knock and flush. It was a beautiful fight, and honestly, one of my favorites to watch. I love when we get to watch these sort of 1v1 by top-tier players. But Inonix, man, he even got shot first. Alo had the opening shot, and it was just the turn and the blowdown by Inonix.
Scary stuff, and you saw the reaction coming out from the boys as well here as they're able to take that win. And that's going to be a boost for Danawa. They were having a terrible day. They were not having the better end of the stick.
You bring up a great point, though. A lot of teams get a win, and we'll see like a coach go running up the stairs. Donald got the win, and it was like a whole horde of support staff charging. A legion of people cheering them on and going upstairs. But it's good for them. And we talked about how they need to have a good day. A lot of us expected them to sort of be up at the top of the leaderboard when this thing started. This was a good game to maybe get them back on track.
I can only imagine as well, a lot of people expected teams like Danawa to do that well, because I'm going to be honest, I looked at my fantasy team.
100%.
I've not done very well.
It's been a bad day.
But I haven't really fallen that much, meaning that clearly people have chosen all of these players, assuming that they were going to be able to kind of get things going from the group stage in a similar fashion here into the winners bracket, but it's really not materialized that much. So again, this can really give Danawa that boost back up, and especially since they were really late coming to military after not gambling that it was going to be a North shift, because that was never really going to be the case for the majority of those circles. But the fact that they were late, they initially were at that bridge, they came down to try and go for the water crossing, and eventually it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, this was a military circle that shift down south, put a lot of teams in weird positions, and teams are rotating so early to get to military circles. I mean, you saw Sonic, they had 3 bolties. That's a sign of how early they left to get down there, that the late arriving teams are, I think, kind of getting caught in shock of there's just nothing left.
Yeah. Here are our top 4 teams then. It will be Danawa, STK, Howl manages to make their way on through here, and Petrichor Road. STK, though, I mean, they were doing a little bit of work on that side. You lay low a little bit, you know, being kind of quiet for the most part. As were Howl, even though they actually were able to do a bit of damage.
As is their way. STK, I think, one of those teams, you know, last game, they played lay low. They laid low and got to go late and do some good points. This time, they got a little more active, but still, the 6 kills are doing what they need to do. They're getting some points up on the board. Now, recap-wise, this is Navi's day. 12 kills. Did they win? No. Does it matter? Not at all. I mean, I'm thinking the cutoff 70, 75-ish is what we're looking at for this event. Na'Vi may be qualified by the end of day today. This is obscene how many points they're putting up.
Yeah, if they keep doing this as well, they potentially push that kind of barrier lower, which is kind of terrifying for all of these teams that are in this middle pack right now, because then their chances of moving through into that grand final kind of lay on a knife's edge here as we see the final moments coming in from this. Danawa pushing up against STK's position. They weren't quick enough just to be able to kind of finish it up and then get themselves a win off of 3 kills, but they did open up with Salute, who was very important in this eventual victory.
Yeah, Salute goes ahead and knocks Vegas. Vegas goes up on the rock to give a little information for Alo, and then we get the one-on-one with Alo versus Inonix, who ultimately comes out with the win. Not a ton of kills. They walk away with 5 on that, but they're going to be happy with the way that it came out. And honestly, if you want to talk about confidence boost, the win is there, but you know the team cheering Iononyx on as he went into that 1v1 and coming out as the winner, that is the big confidence boost right there. The camaraderie built off of those moments is intangible and important.
It will be Iononyx taking man of the match here for that clutch 1v1, and we can't begrudge him of it. I think when it comes to a 1v1 like that, when your opponent, as you said, fires first, and then you're able to flick around and be able to take that shot and take the win, that is fantastic stuff. Although Na'Vi did get a lot of kills.
They did get a lot of kills.
I don't quite know who actually got all the kills on that, but there are 42 kills.
The big winner might be Paper then. I think he's got Iononyx on his fantasy teams because he hasn't stopped dancing since that victory came through. But you're right, Na'Vi, 42 kills have almost, I mean, at this rate, they're going to double the team behind them because they just keep putting these points on the board. Na'Vi goes out in 5th place. 5th place is when they died in that match, and yet they still end up in 1st because they're killing a quarter of the lobby.
The world champions are definitely making a case for themselves, winning PGS 1 here at the moment in the winners bracket, where you think to yourself, we said it at the start of the day, you said it at the start of the day, this kind of is a prelude almost to the grand finals. How do we think maybe the top teams will shape up against one another in a lobby? And it's 65 points for Na'Vi at the moment, up at the top. The closest, a casual 41 points.
I'm not even mad, I'm just impressed. It's like they're just destroying everything around them. They've broken this lobby. And that's what the truly scary thing is. Once Na'Vi gets those points in their pocket, they are an aggressive, cruel team to everyone else. They will go out, they will hunt, they will break up teams, and they will look for those kills. And with this kind of lead, they can just let everyone off the chain. I expect Uber to just go even crazier as we continue in the last game today and going forward into tomorrow.
Especially edge sweeping Na'Vi. If they're having to be kind of pinned up against the edge, and then they're just going to be forced into taking those fights. Well, let's talk about some of the teams before we actually get into the next game.
Let's talk about the bad.
Let's not talk about these teams.
I mean, to be honest, this Luminosity is the team that is supposed to be winning right now. They came out of group stages looking insanely good.
Amazing.
I don't know what's going on. They are not the team that we expected to be here. Now, this is what I like. They're showing us their secrets, but they only print things out in a way that we can't see them. It's very, very clever.
James, that was really dark.
He was showing us. He does. They've got the research from the mad scientists, the analysts they brought with them to this event, but they can't show us. I've asked many times to see these special top secret documents he creates, but they won't let us see what Kova comes up with.
Well, sorry, mate. Sorry. Next time, I suppose. For day trade as well. There's some points on the board. Not the most spectacular day by any stretch here, but still trying to do what they can here. I mean, hey, even day trade's here.
I'll say this, and because Na'Vi has put in so many points here, has gotten to the top of the board, not just day trades here, everyone's still in this thing. Because the Hoover at the top is sucking every point out of this map, everyone else is still in it.
Yes, they are here as we're getting counted down for the final game of the day. So, without further ado, let's do it here. As we're moving on to the desert, it is going to be Miramar to round things out. And unfortunately, it seems like Paper Thin is doing all right today in Fantasy. Let's head on over to Paper Thin and Toby for all the action.
Even the casters are here, and we are having a good time. We're having a good day. I mean, not just because of our fantasy. Well, at least me. I don't know about you, but I don't care about you. I'm not going to lie, Toby. I'm having a good day with Onyx getting me a nice, juicy win. And we go over to Miramar for our final game of the day. After this, we're halfway done. I mean, but what can you say? Na'Vi is basically already on a victory lap. They're already like, the checkered flag is already waved. They're good to go.
They sure are. It's pretty phenomenal that you in 5 out of 12 games can lock in a slot to an extent where you could pretty much get 0 points for the rest of your games in winners bracket and still make grand finals. That is unheard of. But it's also just the Na'Vi that we've come to know and love. Yes, they can go out and make it look like they've never played PUBG before, but they can also do stuff like this. And it's so annoying because sometimes you want to doubt them. You want to go, is this not there? Oh, they're not there on their prime anymore. Very next day, boom, they come in and do something like this, and you wonder why you even question them to begin with.
Yeah, the momentum that they're able to build.
It's insane. It is incredible. Insane.
It's just beautiful. It truly is just amazing what they're able to do. And this team has been an absolute pleasure to watch over the last couple of years.
But that's also just what makes global PUBG so much better. Because yesterday, all we could talk about was Danoa and how much they were the best. Today, we haven't seen any. Okay, they did this one the last game.
They finally came
there. Not in the fashion, in the fashion that we maybe have wanted them to. But enough talk about Danoa, enough talk about Na'Vi, the teams that deserve. I don't know if they do. Do they? We'll talk.
We'll talk about. Look, it's happening. We're here. We have to accept our fate. to be dealing with this hot drop.
Hot droppers.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, there's an
And
EBS.
PGS.
All right.
There's a gun to
Oh my
find
God,
early.
what in the world? AZ is hitting Perfectix. Kui and Lu kind of trading kills here so far.
Go up, Mill!
Go, Mill, go! He got, oh wait,
Don't
he got
go so
8 left.
much.
Never mind, don't go.
Don't go. Stay back. 2 teammates though. Spiro Perfectix about 15 HP to share. And AK waiting on the other side. Just 10 bullets though. For sure, we'll see if we can find anything with it. You gotta piece this together. You gotta time this so well. 3 bullets. There's nothing. Okay, he does get to reload.
All right, let's see what he can do. I got baited by the kill feed. I thought for sure he'd just gotten a double or something.
Go,
It's like,
go, keep it going.
and I was like, yeah, keep it going. I'm like, oh no, that's your teammate. And I'm really not trying to root against Petrichor Road. Don't take it that way at all. That's just me thinking he had gotten another knock. But Tulin's way out there. And everybody's back up and kicking for Twisted Minds. And because of that mistake, all of a sudden, just all the wind underneath Petrichor Road sails are gone.
Yep, finally, a few mets coming through as well. I like that they're not overzealous here, despite the fact that they had a kill already. No, there's a knock as well. They cannot go too aggro before they know what they're up against. And since it's on the other side of the wall, well, it ain't exactly too easy. Credits, though, again, the last game we talked about the bridges. Now, the redesign of some of these warehouse buildings.
Yeah.
This makes for much more fun early engagements.
You know what I just realized? Something that should have occurred to me a long time ago. The reses are extremely quiet if they make any noise at all.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't make any noise.
Should there be like a... when they get back on their feet?
This is an interesting question that I just realized. I'm like, because
Should there be an audio cue for someone going for a rest or for someone having just rest?
Yeah,
I guess
right.
They having just rest is someone moving around.
Yeah, you might hear the footsteps, right? If they're moving at all after they instantly res. But
Yeah.
a smart player will just let go of the keyboard and be like, okay,
Yeah,
and crouch and move around.
And while we are keeping our eyes on this on the main feed, for those of you guys watching the map stream as well, we'll see that the circle has mega shifted to the north. Something that we will go into detail with, and we might as well do it now that no one is really fighting all that much. We are seeing FaZe briefly appear on our minimap, and whoop, there they were, and they're gone. Making their way towards where everyone should be going, the north, because that is where the circle is going to take us. In the meantime, since shotguns are now a thing, no one dares to peek anything, and that's why this is the case.
I think if Twisted Minds could maybe find a flank, that's kind of what I'm thinking. They have the man advantage, so they can afford to send a player out to try to get an angle.
They sent 2 out to loot, though, and I think that's the period where they're like, did we potentially lose an audio queue? Is there maybe a chance that they're elsewhere? And with Twisted Minds currently set in, I believe, 14th, with 16 points in the day, well, it's simply not worth the risk.
It's mutually assured destruction.
I mean, they have
14th
both
and 12th.
They have
to
both
where they're
got
at.
nothing going today, I think. I mean, nothing when you look at Na'Vi up in first, at least, that's for sure. And speaking of Na'Vi, here they are. As I said before, everyone else are currently making their way to where the actual action is going to take place, up towards the north.
Yeah, this one looks like it might be more towards La Cobreria. These circles like to eventually drift up to there, maybe to the southeast as well of La Cobreria. Who knows? Maybe we get that extremely rare Oasis ending or near Oasis ending, maybe.
True,
I can only hope.
I do kind of like that now that we saw the spoiler of Petrichor going in and announcing they were going to change their loot spot on Miramar, just like they did on Erangel. They said La Cobreria was going to be their new spot. In the last 2 games where they've opted to find Twisted Minds for Power Grid instead, La Cobreria has been pretty prime real estate to get off going early on. Had they been there, they would have had Pagan Choice and every compound they would have wanted. And the 1 game Petrichor's won so far, where was that from? Just southeast of La Cobreria.
Toby, how dare you point out these things? These sensible, reasonable,
obvious.
This is crazy talk.
Logic,
I can't believe it.
Logic,
it hurts. It burns.
The kryptonite of the hot dropper. What can we do? Oh no! Don't you talk to me with stats and facts.
Yeah,
logic.
how dare we?
What is this?
This is crazy.
What is this?
All right, well, Donowa's going far, far west on this. Donowa's probably going to try and wrap as far north as they possibly can, if I know Donowa, and try to kind of come at this circle from the high ground to low ground. Try to probably, my guess is make a dive around phase 2 to 4, depending on how hard shifted it is.
And also curious to see how far north they're willing to rotate. We've seen them come in somewhat early, wrap under La Cobreria, but we've also seen them full on, like proper hard commit way north, and even more so now with the change of Oasis, even up to where EXO currently sits, and then make the send on in. So how passive are they willing to play the early game, especially off of a win, to then go aggressive later?
Yeah, I mean, I think in my opinion, generally, Donowa's MO has been calm for the first couple of phases, and then play it by ear. You know, if it's a hard shift, then they play edge and they go for kills. If they see something open in a hard shift, then they try to dive center.
I'm gonna give you like a really, really logical thing again.
Yeah.
The longer you're alive, usually, it's not the bigger the chance of winning, but the more opportunities present themselves to you. So if you are a team like Danoa, who aren't in a hurry to get to the circles, but also not far enough away that they can't really capitalize on anything, if you stay put for long enough, if you get a chance to anyway, you get to kind of pick and choose your options. You get to pick and choose the fights that you're up to engage in. And I think that's why we're seeing a team like Danoa succeed and teams that try and play similar strategies, because they don't just have to go for the first option because, oh, that's the only one we have to go now or we won't have a chance. No, they can sit out a fight. They can say, we could third party that, but there's also something going on over there. Or we could wait for something third altogether because we have the time. We have the space. We've scouted. We're prepared. We're under control here.
And the good teams do this, and that's what we look for. Yeah, absolutely. That's well said, my friend. And yeah, I mean, Danoa, you know, they're been very good as of recent, and adding, you know, Onyx and Loki to their already, I think, sound strategy. We've seen at the internationals, you know, even though they hadn't won PWS until this year, they hadn't won a PCS. You know, this was their first big tournament that they had ever won, the regional. Why it was so important to them, but adding, you know, the steady hand of an Onyx, the kind of ratty, smart nature of Loki to this team, two phenomenal, storied, historic players in PUBG Esports, has given them that extra oomph that they need to back up the dynamic duo of Soul and Salute, who have been just absolutely brilliant.
Now that I have you here, the undisputed talent representative out of Korea.
Yes.
Is Danoa, because we heard James kind of coin a little while back. I know they're shooting and stuff, but they're not going to push. I know James called Luminosity the best NA has ever been in PUBG. Is Danoa now the best Korea has ever been?
Not yet. Not until, I mean, 2019 Gen G was better, but we'll see what Danoa does here. Chewy able to find Batulins and take him out, so finally this one may come to an end. It's all evened up. Is Kui trying to get around, able to dance away, trying to see if he can maybe bait him into the sight lines of Aches left, I believe.
Oh. Sneaky peek around. Flashbang locked on out. No, Ice left. What are you guys doing? First it's Joey shooting Ice left, and now it goes the other way. You really want the Benny Hill music playing, don't you?
It's unbelievable.
It's twice now.
That is so rare to see that happen. That is so rare, especially with this team, with these players, because these guys are phenomenal.
They are, and it just adds to the fact of them knowing how much is on the line here. It is... these are errors that we just do not see players at this level make. Thanks for the -3, Snakers.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Just before 10 minutes he died.
Yeah, I know.
Big sad for you. Oh, Lou's got a Car 98. Or a Mosin. Or whatever. It's Car 98. Okay, I was right the first time. Sometimes it's hard to tell with those white graphics, like exactly
the same gun anyway.
It is essentially actually the same gun.
No, wait, the audio is different.
The audio is a little different. But that's about it.
Rest does come through again, so I guess Ixlift getting a bit of revenge on that one, and now I'm quite literally just waiting to sing it myself. Spiro backed off, Lou backed off, Perfectus is still sat there, but again with the circle so far towards the north, maybe you should just leave. I know you're proud and stubborn and all that, but the fight is over.
I don't think they have any heals. I mean, everybody's really... Yeah, it's just...
You don't? Yep. What makes you think that?
Just maybe Spyro about to die to the blue.
In phase 2.
At least
That is like the worst torture way to go down one tick, one tick, for like 100 seconds straight. That is torture.
It's enough time to go to the fridge and get a drink and go to the bathroom and then come back. Ooh,
okay, fair enough. Headshot shotgun.
All right, well, Perfectix and Lou
doesn't have any heals either.
Aches left with a VSS. Oh, yes. That's what I like to see, the VSS kill.
Lou, run! 13, 12.
Check that off your bingo
11,
card.
10, 9, 8, 7.
We have 6, fallen to the insanity of this fight.
4, 3.
By the way, the circle did something kind of interesting. It really shifted away from the north.
There's so much.
He's dead.
So many things going on that we should be talking about, but Luke got into the circle with 5 HP and no heals.
Things are going great.
He's gonna get top 3.
No helmet, a little bit of an armor, a shotgun. Things are going great.
What is this game?
It's the best game ever.
What is this game? In the meantime, let's keep our attention now to the things that actually matter. The teams inside the circle. Cerberus in the spot that we saw Petrichor win from yesterday. We'll see now if they can make as much of it as Petrichor managed to do. EXO in the meantime, up close with Danoa, up to try and wrap around down towards the south. We asked, how far north will Danoa go? Well, here's your answer.
Yep, this is kind of what I expected. They like to come through this rail yard side of La Coberia. Try to make these circles work. 4 a.m. trying to defend against GEX. Grenades at the ready for Summer and company. Zenon not taking too much damage. And Yuri there, gonna let one loose. I don't think that bounced where well, maybe it did. I don't know, maybe he's trying to bounce it behind that Bronco. I'm not sure. That's what I think he wanted to do.
Yep. Savior finally making his way to the compound. Full speed forward. Trying to suppress here. Zenon will go down. Crazy though falling as well. Savior swapping to one. Swapping to the sword of as well as he finds the Wang Sai. And now it's just Summer left alive. This game today has really been absolutely chaotic as 4 a.m. falls.
This is huge. GEX is having a
mega huge,
relatively solid day.
Yeah.
And now they just wiped out 4 a.m. Didn't take too much damage in the process. They don't have a lot of teams ahead of them in the next circle. They've got a little bit of space to work with, and if they're patient, which they usually are, they can have a decent finish here, I think.
I think Rain is going approximately 3 kilometers an hour up this hill. A two-wheel Bronco. Yeah,
just get out.
Yep, and here comes Na'Vi. I mean, the one same team in today's games that have gone out and actually done pretty damn decent for themselves. For example, they were able to find Fex, catching them in a kind of a split position. I think Fex was going a bit aggro early, but didn't work for him.
You gotta think like Na'Vi, like his phase here, you gotta be like, come on, guys. Like this 2 games in a row. You already did it 1 game, you gotta do it again.
Yep.
Can you just leave us alone?
Yep. Maybe just don't go where Na'Vi is.
That's Cap's forehead. Like,
winning strat. Winning strat indeed. Phase 3 about to pop. Can of course go anywhere. It's not before phase 4. We're shifting away from some of the bigger mountains.
Likely to go north, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least that's what we've seen in the past. True, going down to blue. Kind of that happens when you stick around in power grid for that long, I suppose.
I mean, Lou's still alive. He got to the edge of the circle. He probably has some loot.
True. One of the interesting things with the circle that we currently have, though, Paper, is that there's such a big difference in like height, in terrain, in altitude, and all of this. So even the short rotations can be practically impossible because of the sizes of like the
surface area.
Exactly, of some of these mountains. We'll see now, though, exactly how this one is going to go. Hard southeast. That is interesting, mainly because you have Crater up on the west side.
South and west side of the Crater is
Mountain and city on the north. How do people rotate in?
Yeah. Well, plus south and west side of the Crater are land ratioed. So good luck. Yeah, Aches left is done. There's nothing you can do for him, Milt. And just leave your friend behind.
Hashtag worth.
Yeah, you shot him in the head earlier. Now you got to ditch him. What a great game for Petrichor Road.
Phenomenal.
Na'Vi watching the teams around them. Nobody wants to mess with this. Certainly once you saw that that's Na'Vi in the kill feed of Sonic's phase, you're like, okay, we're not gonna get any closer to that unless we absolutely have to. Oh, this battle just continues by proxy. Please, Lou, just knock him out. Here he goes. He's got him. Yep, easy spray for Lou.
You know what would have been the best finish to this? if Lou shoots Mill and his Bucky runs Lou over.
Oh, that would have been the best.
That would have been the absolute perfect finish to whatever it is that we just witnessed.
That'd be perfection, my friend. Sadly, it's not meant to be. Instead, we got Lou just putting some farewell shots into the body of Mill. Howl on the move on their horse to try to get north. Again, this is pretty likely to shift like north or northeast. Doesn't have to, but that's neither here nor there, as Howl has found some shanties available to them. And they will maybe settle in there. Okay, Pooch Chills can't really find the range.
I mean, the fact that they get in here, they've done it a couple of times now, Howl. They've just full speed sent it somewhere and somehow gotten out of it without taking any casualties. This one, again, a freebie that should have never happened. And it's not just a freebie, it's a freebie access to what is currently, and taking for granted that the next shift will go up to that northeast side. A pretty good location.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, them or frankly, LG's in a pretty good spot, honestly. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that are relatively unfettered with some really strong positions. Corexy from FaZe, potentially. I mean, FaZe has got a huge split, by the way. Absolutely huge. Non under fire here from Tianma. He's done. Just right into Pow Pow's waiting arms.
Nothing you can do about it. He heard the vehicles coming up, but with New Happy being further down that hillside, nothing they could do to try and assist him. They wanted to, but simply too slow to the trigger. Now they have to drive further towards the east.
Oh my God, headshots galore inside of that Murado. What an angle here. Vegas trying to finish off New Happy with that ace. That's long range, and the ace bounces a bit more than most. Might have popped a tire there, I believe, as well.
Yep. Able to get the safety though, only losing one. Again, in a transition like that, you're expecting to take casualties. The casualty was none on the off angle, and now they trade up above. I mean, New Happy just cannot catch a break on this rotation.
Yeah, Day Trade has a really powerful spot up here right now, able to watch so much of what's to their, especially north and west.
Yeah.
Able to cover so much area. Meanwhile, EXO trying to make the sneaky rotations through the compounds, but Donawa was already waiting, and Onyx continuing to heat up here towards the end of the day. That's a knock onto Rain. Akita trying to cross, and Loki, I don't know if Loki got a spot on that or not.
I think he did.
Maybe just barely.
Now the shots coming in as well. Yeah, they've been running shoulder to shoulder. EXO and Dano are down towards here from the north, and Salute getting the flush and Rain. EXO not having the strongest performance here in the winners bracket so far. 13 points on the day. As we
It's not the worst performance.
No, I mean, no, it isn't. No,
there's a team that's doing worse.
Yeah, that is true. The team that won the group stage.
And they're absolute bottom now.
It's welcome to globals.
Yep.
All teams are just good enough to have those days.
Absolutely. Here's GX fresh off of, well, not fresh off, but, you know, feeling good after a victory over 4AM. How about we put it that way? Driving up the hill, and they are going to be able to settle up on that edge on the very kind of sort of the rim of the crater there, as EXO has gotten at least across the road for the most part, except Akita, who's still on the other side, but Hikerman and Empty at least able to find some level of safety away from Donawa's, you know, deadly guns.
Exactly. Akita needs maybe a little bit of help. I'm not seeing all of Danawa kind of peek towards the west, but Shooter Kill is nearby, and they're only getting closer. They heard them cross over. They want to deal with them, because even if they have to leave here, they do not want to get backstabbed trying to make their way out of the city.
Yep. All right, now LG has to move. Circle went, it was going to either go northeast or north, went north.
Yeah.
Kind of chose one direction or the other, so LG, who might have had a phenomenal spot, is now just right into the barrel of Corexi. Tries to hold it down, takes some damage. The rest of LG gets out. They feel like they can take a fight here, and they are right to do so, as he's all there, but he gets a headshot. Corexi, if he had found one more, but it's actually Yuri from GEX.
Yeah, off angle from the hills, able to assist. But the issue is so much damage has been done already. Phase 4 hurts, and Flood, while he might be in cover from GX for a little while, still has a long way to go to the circle.
Yeah, well, for LG, it has been a day to forget, no doubt about it, and I don't know if Flood is going to get much further himself. He might be able to get back in, we'll see. Na'Vi has to do a little bit of work to get themselves ahead with the rest of their team, with Uba up front, Day Trade, vibing.
That's just to kind of reiterate the difference in performance. LG almost averaged the same points that they've gotten all
so
day
far
today.
Per game.
Like in group stage. That is insane. Almost. Oh, not completely. I think they averaged just over 10, and now they're sitting on 13 on the day. That is insane. In the meantime, Na'Vi just continuing where they left off. A few more kills added to an already insane performance of the day.
Map to map, Na'Vi is still making life a living hell for FaZe. Howl in between Na'Vi and Day Trade way out in the distance there. Day Trade very safe on, it can end up by Day Trade, by the way, these circles. Ooh. And by the way, it's heading there. It is going to end very close to Day Trade.
We talked about it earlier today, how we're getting usual areas.
This circle is bizarre.
We're getting usual areas, like La Coperia-esque endings. Okay, we've seen them before. But then the very last circles, they go completely haywire, and this one is no different. Down towards the mountain we go. Mine falls, the Sonics try and leave. Alo able to steal that one win. Thank you, because we don't need to give Na'Vi any more points.
Yeah, Na'Vi's, look, again, rich enough, but Donawa has a ton of work to do here.
Yeah,
They're going to have to find creative timings to get through this. Now Alo steals another. Good. Stole Tickleton, then Flash makes it pay the price for that, but Sonics are just done and dusted. SDK doing most of the damage there, so SDK having a pretty good day here, honestly, Toby.
Yeah, able to turn things around. Currently sat up there in third place with 38 overall on the day. And they're far from done in this match. Still a couple of more teams, though, in the La Coperia area. How are they planning on getting out? With Na'Vi still set on one side and Day Trade on the other.
Yeah, so it was Soul from Donawa that had gotten the knock, I believe, onto Uba, if I was reading the kill feed correctly. as they will try to get that res. I think it should be good. Donawa's going to have to make a decision one way or another, and it looks like they're just going to choose violence at this point and try to go towards Na'Vi, but Uba has been rezzed. Mel takes a bunch of damage. Soul really feeling it so far here in this game, hitting some great shots.
Sometimes you got to take the bull by the horns, and I think that's the strategy for Danawa right now. We got to take the fight to Na'Vi, even if you don't want to. Howl, can you help us at least
Howl's
a little
the third
bit?
party this. 100% Howl should just collapse on
You
Na'Vi.
would want them to, but I think Howl is enjoying the comfort of hard cover in those buildings and being inside the circle as well.
Well, now the grenades and the mollies begin to rain. Soul is knocked, and he is all but down. Another headshot. Uba, what in the world is that?
Through
Double
the smoke,
headshot,
finds the
triple
third.
kill. Disgusting.
Takes out the entirety of Danawa on his own. Absolutely unheard of. This is.
Here's the thing, Toby. Howl might just die to Na'Vi if Na'Vi had chosen to turn around and try to fight them now. Oh my god, Akita. He gets the knock on a Ming Ming. ZP on, gets empty. New Happy in trouble.
These open hillside battles are so incredibly difficult to have to muster through. Now you can see teams starting to die to blue. It's so damn difficult to make the run on through when you're already in phase 5. Akita commits to the flush, doesn't get it. Can't find the extra point, and once again we said, how are they planning on getting out of here? Answer is, they aren't. They are just going to take each other down before eventually fall into blue. I think Heiger, no way he gets out of there. Trying to see what Boy can do. Not going to happen. How many teams escape La Coparia? None.
I love the attempt from Hikerman. I love the attempt to just prone it down and see if you get the dumbest long-range M4 spray your life. Poochills and company. Flash, Nuren's here. Overwatching Tianba's position. Uba is... he is going to die to the blue here eventually.
Now, I memed on it earlier when I said that Lou was going to get top 3. But he's alive.
Yeah.
And he's just gotten a hard shift.
Well, don't let your memes not become dreams.
I don't know, but this could actually be a thing where Lou gets to stay put for long enough, because there's no one, maybe Tianba, but no one should expect there to be anyone in that ball with how many teams have been fighting now up on the north side.
Well, Poochills has to chill behind that mountain for a moment as he got headshot there by Tianba. Grenades are out for day trade. There is New Happy here right on Tianba's left-hand flank. Might be a fight brewing there. I see Ming Ming taking some shots already, and man, if day trade can just kind of maintain some balance here, they could rake in some kills. Ming Ming with the opener on to 7-7.
Important knock as well for New Happy. It's so difficult to fight uphill. Someone once told me that high ground is better. We'll see if they can make any say in that, as day trade trying to hold off as well.
If you have cover, the high ground is better.
True.
Otherwise, it's not. All right, 7-7 there. Gonna fall to ZP Yan. Leo takes Apocalypse out from GEX from forever away. That's like a 250-meter kill for Leo. A good grenade from Belmoth is gonna finish off the knock from Nuren's onto Longsker. Here comes some more grenades right towards Pow Pow. A flash and a... Why flash there? He's so far away, brother.
I mean, you know, just stay down.
Stay down, stay there.
Don't get up.
I think you should save that stun for later.
Maybe he's gonna throw one more just because you said it. Maybe it's just got to know. What? Maybe it's just got to know.
That could be.
Yep. Backpacking getting a little heavy, wanting to release some of the tension on those shoulders. In the meantime, Schofield lobbing it on forward, finding HSMM with that nade. We'll see now if they're opting to make any sort of aggressive play off of it. I don't think they will. Howl currently still just exactly outside the circle here.
Now they're kind of pinned down by Cerberus right now, so...
And Upa gets the flush just before he dies. Because, no, why not?
Because why not? They don't need anymore.
Lou.
They've got enough points. Lose. Big sad. 7th place. But still,
dream.
I guess placement points or something. We'll see if maybe, who knows, maybe tomorrow that actually matters as we get in towards Zipian and Ming Ming, the 2 survivors for New Happy, still trying to climb this mountain. And Day Trade has the sunny side so far.
Well, they've had 29 points on the day, which wasn't terrible. Xiaopian hasn't really stepped up the way we've seen him do before. Him and Ming, usually when the team kind of doesn't get things going, tend to be the one that really gets the engine restarted. So we'll see maybe here in the final performance of the day if these 2 dynamic duo here can get something going.
Oh, some good shots from GEX are helping Howl out. That is Cerberus in trouble.
Yep.
Himas still alive. I believe he's the only one for Cerberus, as far as I can see. Yeah, it's going to be dire. Day trade now, and Howl trying to finish the job on New Happy. They've got him pinched. They push out the blue. The mad, the timing. beautiful.
Huge damage coming through from him. Finds the double as well. Able to get to safety. Able to get the heal on up. But now comes him as full speed forward. That flash might be a bit too fast. Second one going to go over the top as well. Schofield, what can you do from here? 1v1, but there's help coming from up above.
Oh, here comes GEX. Let's see if they can scoop up some more points. A really nice blind from Schofield is going to buy him a little bit more time and buy GEX a little bit more time to finish the jump. What? Spin from Hebas! Oh, finally, Leo takes him down, but my word.
He has no right to come out victorious in that one. What an attempt from him as to turn that one around. Find the first, couldn't find the second. And now the Mad having to try and defend as best as he can, but they trade up above. They've been sitting tight for a long time. They've barely had to fight anyone up close. So helmets, vest, utility, they've got it all.
Yeah, Day Trade should be in firm control of this one. You got Belmoth in the back, providing long-range cover fire. Might not need it. Nurens and Flash. The dynamic duo for Day Trade. Dominating the front. The Mad trying to get up the hill.
I'm liking that GEX are actually falling back. You
So
and Leo,
smart.
they're only two, but they're trying to go back and backstab. Belmont is still playing up above, and Pushers is now realizing, wait, something
Matt's
is off
done.
here. Matt is
He's
just,
given up.
yeah, no reason to do anything else. Great day for Howl. Could it have been better? Sure, probably. But again, first day of winners bracket, top 8 is all you need. First place, amazing. Top 8, gives you the same.
Yeah, I feel like there were a few more points they could have maybe scooped up here and there.
Definitely,
but
definitely.
You know what? Who am I to criticize? They still had a solid day.
Top 3?
Yeah, exactly. That's nothing wrong with that. GEX. I mean, if I'm GX, I'm fighting this one out.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
not?
definitely. 11 kills already. Still got 2
Got a
people
Mark
up,
14.
level 3 as well.
Get that Mark 14. Let's go.
It seemed red, though. I don't think there's any bullets left.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I can't blame him, though, because they have been set up on Hillside shooting at everyone for pretty much 20 minutes straight. So
It's true.
If he had bullets left, I would be kind of disappointed.
That's true. That's fair. Well, Yuri's probably got some bullets. Just, pass a few off.
Yeah. Sharing is
Just get rid of that clip in that barrel. He doesn't need it. Just give it to Leo. I
Who
don't
needs
know.
a barrel anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like really good in this situation or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Well,
He has no bullets. There's no way. He barely has any bullets in his M4.
Exactly. Well, maybe he won't need them too much because Leo is doing damage for him. Finds the first. Pushes. No way he's going to get rest. Seems like Day Trade has committed to the 3-1 split, and here they come full speed forward over the hilltop.
Well, now you don't have any extra players to give up as Day Trade. You sent one out to go for the flank. It was identified and eliminated by GEX. So now you have to go for trades. You cannot give up anything else other than just trades. This has to be a 1-for-1-for-1. Nurens over the top has Leo spotted as the knock. It is just Yuri. He should be done. And indeed, it is going to be Day Trade who takes the final game here of our first day of the winners bracket.
So rare that the team set on that hilltop wins these areas, but when the circles literally end on that compound, which has, I don't want to say never happened before, but
very
maybe
rare.
once in a new moon, they should also be the ones to bring it home. So glad to see Day Trade be able to claim a win, which should be theirs, but where we've seen them fumble it before.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, that was pretty well handled. They did a great job keeping Tiamba and New Appy at bay, making sure that those really, really good teams didn't get up that hill. So for what it's worth, Day Trade, even though that is an unusual circle, they managed it very nicely.
Love to see it when they can bring it home on the global stage as well. Again, we see time and time again when they get spoon-fed to you, they still come up short, especially when you have teams like Na'Vi on the server. But this time around, Day Trade able to bring it home. But GX as well, I believe they finished at 13
Great
kills.
Day for them. GX, one of the better days, and they are having a really solid tournament that's really exciting because this is a team that we always want to see do well. They're at like every international event ever.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't do very good if we're just being honest, but the last couple of years we have seen glimmers of brilliance.
Yep, sure have. APAC galore, APAC rise as we see GX and Day Trade finish off the day well. But we got to go back to Na'Vi. PGC champions, Na'Vi today looked absolutely insane.
Just what else is there to say? There's a reason they won PGC just from every point of that event. But guys, we're going to watch some highlights. Then it's the desk to wrap up the day, so don't go anywhere.
like to see here at PGS. I almost said PGC.
Yeah, you did.
Ooh, we've got Daytrade getting themselves
lot of
the victory.
acronyms.
I know, there's so many, and they all start with P. A great win for them here on north of Miramar, and actually all of our circles north of Miramar here at the moment. But Daytrade is able to get the win against GX in the final moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun end game. Daytrade came in, got their points on the board. They needed them, so we'll see what that does to the overall standings. But for me, again, the story of this game, despite the fact that Daytrade won and take nothing away from them, was, as Toby said at the end, Na'Vi. Uba playing out of his mind. They didn't win this one, but they were, again, in the mix, just racking up kills and, more importantly, ruining the chances of some of the top teams that tried to come in.
Yeah, and top teams in terms of the topography as well, because nobody was getting out of La Cabrera. There was absolutely no opportunity whatsoever for anybody to be able to move away from there. We often say it, you know, once you go into a city, you better hope that it's going to be finishing there. Yes, it's hard shifts that move directly south away from it, but even then, even if it was slightly outside of La Cabrera, it was going to be much harder for all of those teams as opposed to the ones in the hills.
Yeah, going to the city should always be your last ditch option. Because getting out's almost impossible, and we do see that time and time again. The team that holds the high ground. We saw that in the earlier Miramar match. The teams that stayed on the mountains had a higher chance of winning instead of going into the compound. So we see that here yet again.
Well, I mean, with again, when you have a situation or a finish like this as well, at least Cerberus was able to get a few points on the board, getting themselves a few placement points as well. It's another team that I think a lot of people have high expectations for here, but they are able to get themselves a 4th place finish with the 13 smoke shoot class. Only 2 kills, though. It's been a rough day.
I mean, same with Howl. Those 2 teams came in as survivors, kind of limping into that big 4, that final 4, put up some numbers. GEX, though, 12 kills, 1,200 damage. You know, they had some incredible moments in that match.
I mean, for Howl, it's quite the trend, though, right? We keep seeing them cheekily pop up in some of these final moments, so not too bad to be able to get yourself a few points. There is a world where they make grand finals, and quite honestly, I'm going to be truly frank with you here. Me, Avenger, Toby, how? Well, they won PEC. Fantastic. However, how are they going to do on land? We had a lot of question marks around them.
I think a lot of people asked how will they do, but they're like alligators. You know, they just sort of wait for their chance to attack. They lay low, they watch everyone, and then they sneak in at the end and cause a little bit of trouble.
And the highlights here as we finish things off as well. You know, Himas trying to make something happen towards the end. It is not to be, though, here for the team as a whole. Owl caught down towards the bottom. And Daytrade did a good job in terms of flexing out from the position of power that they had, making sure nobody had any breathing room up on the north side of this circle because it was already a hard transition out of La Cabrera, never mind a hard transition up this hill.
Yeah, I think Daytrade, everyone besides Daytrade came limping into this final circle. Himas, up for that flick that he had there at the end was absolutely brutal, and I think they almost made something out of it, but Daytrade was just too strong with that high ground. There was no chance that they were going to lose that one.
Big power coming out from Daytrade here, as they are always a threat in the lobby, as we have 3-3-3 and 0 here for Nurin's Flash and Pushu's. Even though 3-3-3. So 850 damage coming out from Nurin's, though. I mean, he is not exactly the heavy hitter, but I think a lot of people put stock behind his name when it comes to this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the damage, 854 and 730, this shows you how Daytrade's position was just so dominant, because they only racked up 3 kills each, but it means that they were just bristled out, stopping anyone from coming up the hill and sort of slowing down everyone else's progress, and ultimately that resulted in their win.
Yeah, always when damage looks like this, it's the impact on the lobby that they're having, which is causing these waves, these ripple effects through the lobby that, you might not be getting all the kills, but you're certainly impacting the progress of all these other teams that can't necessarily get up the hill.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about that kind of ground. You want to push them away, say send them to fight somebody else, and that's where you end up with the power of just larger numbers in the end. Let's take a look at the end of the day today. Team summary, Na'Vi still up on top with total kills, almost doubling their nearest competitor when it comes to total kills on the board. Their damage, 8,000, incredible.
And quite a glow up for Daytrade, let's be real. I mean, this past game here has bumped them up in every facet. 19 points go their way, but GEX, 18. A very important point. If GEX makes top 8 off winners here, considering the strength of the lobby, that's a win in my book.
Also worth noting, STK, number 6, gets 5 points off of that one, but off the back of a win and a second place. A team that started the first 2 games today looked completely out of sorts. So a good comeback for a lot of teams who started slow today.
Here we are, the total leaderboard. You basically may as well ignore number 1. 75 points. Congratulations, making the grand final.
No kidding.
the boys in yellow just absolutely smashing day number 1 of the winners bracket.
Go out tonight, have a nice dinner, relax, come back, get 5 points tomorrow.
But you brought it up in terms of a team that you would fear in day number 2. It's a team like Na'Vi who's just going to absolutely massacre the lobby. They're not going to feel any pressure.
And they're going to come in, they're going to play their favorite kind of PUBG, which is just sweep the edge and destroy teams. And we saw that in the last match. Uba was in the blue, just ruining people's rotations as they tried to come in. And we're going to get more of that tomorrow.
Terrifying, and terrifying for the team sat in the middle pack right now, who are currently, as I said, sitting on the edge of a knife, trying to qualify for that top 8. The point differences between what is going to be 8th and 9th, I imagine, are going to be razor thin.
You say terrifying for the teams in the middle pack, which is everyone but Na'Vi.
Yes.
Because they've taken so many points that the entire middle pack is incredibly tight, which does mean that tomorrow is going to be a very exciting, close race for that top 8 position because Na'Vi has sponged up so many points.
Yep, very, very scary. But I mean, beyond that, of course, a great day for some of these other teams being able to get themselves towards that kind of 45-point mark, etc., and things like that. That means they're going to have a bit of an easier day tomorrow, considering how much was sponged up by Na'Vi.
Absolutely. And I think easy day is going to be an interesting way to put it. We got a lot of teams, too, on the bottom that need to go back to the drawing board. I can't see Luminosity having 2 back-to-back terrible days. So there is going to be some glow up from these bottoms that are going to make it really hard for the teams that are in that 30 to 25 pack range.
Well, my fantasy team today was in shambles. So for even just my sakes alone, all the other teams that probably pick Kickstart, which is a lot of them, we hope that maybe they do a little bit better. Anyway,
come on, boys.
Thank you very much, Toppy's here for the desk as we are done here. But before we finish things off for PGS 1, let's head to some interviews here to find out what the thoughts are from ranks number 1 and 2.
Hello, this is Bella, and welcome back to the main stage here at PGS 1. We are done with day 1 of the winner stage, and we've seen some very, very exciting matches. So let's get down to our daily interviews. So for his amazing play, please welcome Na'Vi's Uba onto the stage. Uba needs a microphone, so we're just gonna wait for a minute. Hello, Uba. Congratulations on your amazing play today.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you. You did so well on last year's PGC, and you're doing so great for this year's PGS 1. Do you have a secret method behind doing so well on such a big stage?
I don't know, if you just put together like Melman, XMPL, and Alia, everything gonna work out. Especially on like LAN tournaments when everyone's having pressure, we are not. Because we don't care. We're gonna win anyway.
Ooh, the confidence and the faith he has in his team. Okay, I like that. And for the second question, I'm getting a little bit more specific. Walk us through what happened after match 1 when you were in a situation with the Sonics and 4 a.m., which is basically a situation where like no one thought you could get out. So walk us through that.
I think all we needed like just to delay the fight and force like Sonics and 4M to fight somehow, which they did. And we just went slowly like with the smokes, with the cars, like with the cover, and eventually won it.
So this is Uba. He just does it. Okay. Your fans must be so proud. So let's have a word to the fans supporting you from home.
I want to thank like everyone supporting us, and I've seen a lot of people like buying Na'Vi PUBG partner skins, which like we appreciate a lot. And thank you very much. We get like your support. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the interview, and good luck for tomorrow too. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. That was Uba from Na'Vi, and for our second guest, we're gonna have House the Mad join us onto the stage. Please welcome the Bad. Hello. Oh, good. Congratulations on doing so well on the day 1 of the winners brackets. So you're done with day 1, and to make it into the top 8, like to stay in the top 8, what else are you going to do differently for tomorrow?
Yarın için farklı neler yapacaksınız diyor.
Oynadığımız oyunu oynamaya devam edeceğiz. Sadece yarın daha az hata yaparak daha iyi bir sırada bitirmeye çalışacağız.
We will do tomorrow everything is best and we don't want to do any more mistake tomorrow.
Oh, so to correct the mistakes and just do everything great.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will just care about our mistakes.
That's good. That's good. Okay. So from your day one of the winners bracket, which team's play was your biggest obstacle?
Yarınki takım için en büyük sizin için engel hangisidir diyor. Hangi takım sizin için en büyük engeldir diyor.
Özellikle bir takım tarafından bir sorun yaşamadık. Genel olarak lobiye ayak uydurmaya çalıştık. Yani herhangi bir takımla ilgili bir oyun planında bir sorun yaşamadık.
There is no specific teams. We are not any problem. So we will do tomorrow best thing.
Okay. Okay. So finally, a message to the fans at home watching you.
Elimizden gelenin en iyisini yapmaya devam edeceğiz. Bizi desteklemeye devam edin.
We will do everything. Support us, please.
All right. Thank you for the interview.
you.
Good luck for tomorrow too. We'll see you. Bye bye. That was How's the Mad joining us for the second interview. And that is a wrap on day one of the winners bracket here in PGS, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We'll see more PUBG action, and we're going to figure out the top 8 teams that will make it into the grand finals tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.